Today, we're diving into a book that might just flip everything you think you know about success. It's called The Happiness Advantage by Shawn Achor, and it's a real game changer.
So let me ask you something, right off the bat. What if the formula for success that you've been taught your entire life is, well, completely backward?
You know the drill, right? We're all taught this exact formula. Just work a little harder, get that promotion, hit that goal, then you'll finally be happy. But let's be honest, does it actually work out that way?
Over the next few minutes, we're going to tear down that old, broken formula. Then we'll get into a revolutionary new way of thinking, look at the hard science that backs it up, and I'll even give you a peek at some practical tools you can start using today. First things first, let's talk about the real price we pay for following that conventional wisdom. It's not just that it fails to make us happy, it actually creates some serious problems.
And here's a stat that really puts it into perspective. If that work harder, get successful, then be happy idea were true, you'd think Harvard, a place that's the very definition of success, would be the happiest place on earth. But a 2004 poll found that a staggering 4 out of 5 students there suffer from depression. 4 out of 5. Something is clearly broken.
So, if the old model is so broken, what's the alternative? Well, this leads us to the core idea of the book, and honestly, it's a massive shift in thinking.
The Happiness Advantage flips the old formula completely on its head. It argues that we've had it backward this whole time. Happiness isn't the result of success, it's the cause of it. A positive brain is simply a more effective, higher-performing brain.
Achor compares this idea to the Copernican revolution. I mean, think about it. For centuries, everyone believed the sun revolved around the earth. He's saying we've been just as wrong about the relationship between happiness and success. And realizing that happiness comes first changes everything.
Now, let's get into the science, because this isn't just a fluffy, feel-good idea. This is based on real neuroscience. When you're happy, your brain gets a literal, measurable upgrade.
Research shows that when your brain is in a positive state, you're more creative, more resilient, and way more productive. You literally see more solutions to problems, spot opportunities you would have otherwise missed, and you're better at collaborating. This isn't a soft skill, it's a scientific, competitive advantage.
Okay, so this all sounds great, but how do we actually do it? The book lays out 7 practical principles to retrain our brains for happiness. Let's just take a quick look at 2 of my absolute favorites. The first one is all about your mindset. Think of a lever. Its power isn't about the lever itself, it's about the position of the fulcrum. Well, our potential is the lever, and our mindset is the fulcrum. By shifting our mindset, we can radically increase what we're capable of achieving.
Achor tells this brilliant story about his sister Amy. She fell off a bunk bed, and right as she was about to cry, he reframed the entire situation by yelling that she landed like a unicorn. Instantly, her pain turned into pride. He moved her fulcrum, and her reality changed. Just think about how many situations at work we could reframe just like that.
The next principle is genius because it tackles willpower, which we all know runs out. It's called the 20-second rule. All you do is make good habits 20 seconds easier to start and bad habits 20 seconds harder. Want to play guitar more often? Take it out of the case and put it on a stand. Want to watch less TV? Just take the batteries out of the remote. It's a tiny shift that makes a huge difference.
Okay, this all sounds really good in theory, but what about the real world? Let's look at a case study that shows the actual bottom-line impact of this stuff.
So, the legendary psychologist Martin Seligman went to work with MetLife to study their sales agents. And he wasn't focused on their experience or training, he was focused on their mindset. Specifically, how they explained bad events to themselves. When things went wrong, were they optimistic or pessimistic?
The results were just astonishing. The optimistic agents outsold their pessimistic counterparts by 37% in their first year. And the most optimistic group? They sold an incredible 88% more. This is hard data that proves your mindset directly drives your performance.
So, what does all this really mean for you? It means it's time to shift your focus, stop chasing success, and start actively cultivating happiness.
If you take only one thing away from this, let it be this. Happiness is not the finish line you cross after you succeed. It is the fuel in your engine. It's what gives you the energy, the creativity, and the resilience to get there in the first place.
We've only just scratched the surface of 2 of the 7 powerful principles in this book. Each one is a tool designed to give you that competitive edge, not by working harder, but by working happier. So the only question left is, are you ready to start using them?